can you imagine being in a large room with hundreds of people who feel like family, all from around the world, working together to bring change, bring consciousness, to elevate themselves and support each other in this process as we support the whole world's evolution.
Together, we've done Costa Rica, our first Accelerated Ascension, starting off in one of the blue zones of the world. And then we've done Glastonbury in England, which is a very powerful place with Avalon close by. And our last one was in Slovenia. This next one is going to be in Turkey. So I invite you to join us online or in person.
One of the fastest ways to evolve your consciousness and to receive actual embodied spiritual awakening is to immerse in these experiences.
The energies are off the charts and incredibly strong, and there is an aspect of community that only happens when we all come together in a very sacred way, in a really powerful and beautiful way, in a powerful location for a powerful purpose.
We're going to be creating something truly magnificent together.
Your energy is needed. Okay?
Look forward to seeing you there.
So hello and welcome. We're thrilled to be with you all here today and so super excited to dive into this collaboration once again with you, Asil.
Blessings to you. Thank you. Good to see you, Prageet. Hello, Julieanne. And hello, everyone joining from around the world. We have so many people from literally everywhere.
Yeah, I've been watching the chat and it's like North America, South America, all over Europe, Israel, even Africa.
And Neil from Turkey is here. Welcome to all our Stargate and Evolution 1 friends in Turkey.
So this is a great delight. We've been doing these Accelerated Ascension programs, as you've just seen, from all over the world. And there's something really, really special about this next location in Turkey.
So on today's live stream, we're going to talk about what's so special about Turkey. There's the home of Mother Mary, where she's said to have lived out her final years. There's Rumi actually came to Turkey, and that's where he developed much of his poetry and ecstatic practices. There's such a rich history. We're going to dive into it. We're going to be hearing from the guides. We're going to be actually starting to create the energy field for Accelerated Ascension for right here and right now. So we invite everybody just to bring your energy here. So just close your eyes for a moment and intend to connect.
Just the intention to connect. And we start to create a gentle energy field together in the quantum, beyond time and space. There's an energy of our intention that connects us.
So we wanted to start, for anybody who's totally new to this work, with a little bit of an explanation of what the Stargate is and what Asil's work is all about. And I was thinking about this morning and realizing that in a sense, this is a new type of spiritual practice. In the past, spiritual practice has been very much about a kind of focusing of the lens of our awareness to punch through into a state of oneness. And now, with the energies on the planet and the energy of human consciousness on like a massive acceleration, there are these energy fields that we simply can relax into. And just like binaural beats entrain our brain waves, we're entraining with the actual frequencies of the conscious universe. So super conscious frequencies come in and we start to connect with our own super conscious. So Asil, I'd love to start inviting you to share from your perspective, what is your work?
Well, let's see. There is great powers that have supported humanity over thousands of years in its evolution. And in this time and age, humanity is going through a massive awakening, and great powers, divine powers, otherworldly civilizations, higher realms of consciousness are coming through individuals and vessels like the three of us, but also many who are on this live stream today, to basically utilize us as instruments of the divine in support of humanity's consciousness evolution. And this awakening process that we're going through is unprecedented. It is the culmination of the human experience in this iteration as we know it. And so here we are in the midst of the most exciting show in the universe, in the front lines, right? The first row of this incredible show that's unfolding before us. And we don't just participate by watching, we're intrinsic elements of this evolutionary process. So the guides that work through me, angelic beings, and the Elohim as a consciousness, are also connected to you guys, right? To Alcazar and the Elohim approved project of the Stargate, right? So that's where our connection comes together. And in the technologies that you guys bring, and the technologies that have been embedded, within me and within our community, these two technologies come together in a very magical way, collaborating to basically deliver an evolutionary upgrade to everyone that's joining us. And in my personal experience, Accelerated Ascension has been the most powerful thing we have delivered.
Mm-hmm.
The transformational stories that we have heard from people, including physical healings, mental healings, emotional healings, like the type of consciousness expansion where people are truly in oneness, has been spectacular, nothing short of magnificent. And so we started off by, let's try this. Let's see why the guides are making us do this Accelerated Ascension thing. And it just has been so clear that it had to continue. It had to continue evolving and with the community expanding. So we are not just doing this work for ourselves, but also for our families, for our communities, but really for humanity and this earth. So I'm once again super excited to be doing Accelerated Ascension with you guys. And it was very clear that last year, when we were doing Slovenia and completing the Slovenia experience, we would have another one coming up very soon, right? There was like a momentum to it. And people were asking, like, where is the next one? When can we decide? And so Turkey seemed to be like the front runner, and it really came together. It really crystallized as our next location. So yeah, I'm just incredibly honored and in awe of what we have created and where we are going together.
So when we met in Slovenia last year, it was really clear to us too that like the collaboration was off the charts, more powerful than it's ever been before. And we had about 400 people with us in person. And when you have that many people, you can move into these super powerful collective states of presence. And at one point, I remember like looking around the room and everyone's face in like, there were like stadium chairs in that room. Everyone's face was like a Buddha suddenly. And it's like, what a total delight that we get to play with these, as you call them, technologies. Like we would just call them high vibrational energy fields. But Asil, I'm very curious because there is actual technology. And I've heard you say that it's from Sirius and from the angelic realms that is like happening through you. Okay, we'll get into that in a minute. And with Stargate, this is, like I've told Prageet before, if the Stargate plugged into an electrical socket, it would be a blockbuster. Like if this was some kind of like tech entrainment that people could understand in that way, because what it does is it enables anyone, no matter how much you've meditated, if you're a novice or if you're super advanced, it's a highly advanced consciousness that's anchored in this sacred geometry that meets you where you're at and opens your perception field to subtle energy, to higher dimensional guides, and you have direct spiritual experiences. So Stargate is effectively guided meditations that are channeled by Alcazar, who came through Prageet in '88 for the first time. I joined in 2012 and discovered the connection that I have with this project. And as you mentioned, Stargate is actually overseen by the Elohim Council of Angels. And so that's where we found our resonance.
And the beautiful thing about the Stargate work is it's not about doing. It's simply about relaxing and receiving. And so when we work with Asil, those energies come together in such an incredible, amplified way.
And the energy on the planet has actually changed a lot in the past year. Things really are accelerated. I heard Pam Gregory mention the other day that according to one scholar, the Kali Yuga actually ended on March 21st on the solstice. So, or the equinox, sorry.
Equinox.
I always get those two mixed up. I'm clearly not an astrologer. So it's really an interesting time to be alive because it's like so many different prophecies about humanity coming together and evolving are happening right now. There's a human design prophecy about 2027 and some kind of mutation where humanity moves from being tribal, mental, survival based, which you can totally see in our past and how we've been, into becoming more intuitive, emotionally refined, and like individual society, like a society that actually like honors the individual and creative expression and our intuition. And there's like a whole new like stop and start to society. So this is a fascinating time to be alive. And Asil, I would love, because when we work with you, and I've said this so many times now, but like I'm so used to being in the Stargate's energy field. And when we work with you, it's like the field that I usually feel like this, suddenly at certain moments will be like a rocket ship just taking off. And there are many, many different states of consciousness that I've experienced in our collaborations. And so I would love to hear from you. What is this technology that you're actually working with when you're working with the field?
It's a good question. I'm not sure even I fully understand. It's beyond like our, fully our comprehension. But if we like try to simplify it as much as possible for the human mind to understand, the way I think about it as our consciousness has the ability to reach many different consciousness states of frequency that give us access to higher dimensional fields of energy that's moving through, like streams of rivers. And if we practice these, then with the right amount of internal fuel, we can go to those states. And if we can hold ourselves in these higher vibrational states, eventually our entire being starts to absorb that energy and hold that frequency constantly. And being in that frequency field actually changes our cellular being, changes our mental, emotional, and energetic being for good. It's not just temporary states, it is true transformation. That's what I experience. Now, the unique thing is when we work together, the existing infrastructure of the Stargate, which is like, to me, the way I see it is like a network around the globe, right? Of actual Stargates and etheric Stargates and all the people in the different communities. It's like a massive grid. So when I sit in that Stargate, it's like the whole grid lights up, and I feel like I see everyone inside that grid. I feel like everyone is present in the moment, and the energy is instantaneously moving through that grid without obstruction. And it's so powerful because it amplifies what I'm able to do massively. That's why when we come together, it's just like, it just takes off. And as you mentioned earlier, there were many people, there were first timers to Accelerated Ascension. And they were in Buddha like states, right? And it's not necessary to say, oh, you need to have meditated for 10 years. And if you're not, yogi, then you won't be able to get any of this. And if you don't have the right crystals, then you won't be able to tune into the frequency. And no, it's really anyone that comes will be able to tap in, will be able to expand, will be able to heal, align, and evolve all together. And we have seen this over and over again. You guys have been doing this forever. And I've been also like working on this for the past 10 years. And we have seen the most incredible transformations. Am I right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So literally the culmination of AA3 in Slovenia was that epic state where everyone seemed to be so entrained in higher consciousness altogether. And that kind of a field, it's like pin drop silence. And the next day, when we had packed up, we were like getting ready to go our separate ways, all of us. And we bumped into 3 different people who all told us that they had had spontaneous remissions. And I want to be really clear. It's like, it's not a sure thing, but these things do get reported. And it was like, it was so magical because it was like in the elevator, we just bumped into somebody and they're like, this happened. And we're like, what? And then like it was like these spontaneous, just like happenstance meetings. Like we weren't going out and seeking people, but people were like crying, and like the physical changes are just one level and the most obvious level of the changes that happen. But when we're in these super strong energy fields, we are literally realigning to a higher state of order.
Right. It's really interesting. In terms of the changes, some people could think of spirituality as a bypass to the life that people live, right? It's out there. Spiritual bypassing is a major topic that people talk about, right? But I really see this as more like an expansion to life. How can I create these expanded states and bring them into my daily life? And how can I live from that place of peace and from that place of liberation? Ultimately, that's what we want. Being in a greater state of alignment, no matter where we go, no matter which part of life we're in, no matter which relationship we're in. And we may not be perfect in doing that, but we're certainly aspiring, and Spirit is helping us. The divine is helping us. These incredible technologies are helping us. The guides are helping us. So we have endless support. We have endless support And as long as we show up, and as long as you guys show up, we create magic. And it just gets multiplied, amplified when we go to sacred places around the world, right? From Costa Rica to Glastonbury to Slovenia and now to Turkey. And as you said, the place that we're going to is a stone throws away from the house that Mother Mary used to live. Apparently, after the crucifixion, she lived until the end of her years there, like literally half an hour away from where we are. And the Temple of Artemis, one of the ancient wonders of the world in Ephesus, a significant place. So it's just Turkey has so many powerful sacred sites, and we get to be in that energetic field connecting to the network that's there. And I think we can then talk a little bit about Turkey, right?
Absolutely. It's interesting because I have some kind of Akashic remembrance of like Turkey has so much ancient power. And like, for example, Göbekli Tepe, which is a 10,000-year-old site. And what's interesting about that is it started to push the timeline of advanced human civilization, because written and carved into the stones are astronomical knowledge that our archaeologists didn't think that humanity had at that time. They thought that we were still hunter-gatherers. So that timestamp also is indicative of the knowledge that was preserved from before the flood, essentially from the advanced civilizations of Atlantean times.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that thread in Turkey that's very strong as well. And Asil, you're going to go there, right?
I will actually go there. So I have a visit to Göbekli Tepe before our expedition,
Mhm.
and I'll give you a full experience report at the Accelerated
Please.
Ascension. And then we're taking a group on an expedition through Turkey as well, just before. And also for those that are coming to Accelerated Ascension, I think it's worthwhile mentioning that we have worked with our tour operator that people would be able to do like day trips to some of these sacred sites that are close by, so that you're not like traveling as we are doing this retreat, but you're like close by, going, visiting, getting some of that energy. So what I wanted to say is the powerful history, the powerful ancient civilizations, and the powerful contemporary civilizations that have existed in Turkey and have left their mark in physical creations, ancient ruins, energetic structures, right? It's all accessible to us if we go to some of these places and tune deeply into the energy that's present, right? But some of the work that we also do is we realign some of these sacred sites. We connect not just to the sacred site, but we allow the sacred sites to be maintained, repaired, serviced, expanded, right? And there is a power that allows the energy that moves through us as a group, as a community of thousands of people practicing together into the sacred site, from the sacred site into the grid within Turkey, from Turkey into the neighboring countries. And we're talking, Turkey is neighboring to Syria, Iraq, Iran, and Ukraine over the Black Sea. Just think about the amount of conflict that's been around that country and how challenged it has been by the energies that are around. And So what we have there is the possibility to make an energetic difference within Turkey. What we have there is the possibility to impact potential outcomes of conflict in neighboring countries, in the entire region of the Middle East, in the entire region of the Ukraine and Russia war. It's all next door. But I also want to say, like, we're absolutely totally safe. Turkey is a safe country, especially the area that we're going to is a very beautiful and safe place. And in that sense, we'll be able to do that work from within Turkey, affecting the region and probably the entire world. And so when we do this type of collective work, it is multifold. And I always say, spirit or the divine, if we work in highest consciousness, it is always gearing for win-win-win situations. That means if we do this practice, we win, they win, everyone else wins. It's a win-win-win situation. And consciousness evolves as a result of this collaborative practice. And you at home or you with us in Turkey, you are the key to this evolutionary process. You know, Julieanne and Prageet and I could come together all day long and do these practices together. And we could be traveling the world and visiting sacred sites and doing this work. But there is something about hundreds of people coming together in person, thousands of people coming together energetically online. And that energy that we bring together, that field that we create, it is a transformational field that is only possible because of you. So it is a true honor to do this work together. This is, by the way, a footage from our last Turkey expedition in 2019. Also, the magic was so incredible that our community asked to go back again.
Yeah, this footage is so gorgeous, and it's all original stuff that your team created while you were traveling, right? Amazing.
Another really amazing aspect of what's going to be happening in Turkey is that there's been 2 new guides coming through just in the last few months. One of them, Izan, is a very amazing energetic. He's a cosmic priest. And he actually has the ability of taking people into other universes. So we might well have an experience of that whilst we're there in Turkey. And the other being that's come through facilitates in timeline jumps. So as we build an energetic up together, there's a grand potential of shifting the timeline into a higher consciousness, not just for us, but for many around the world who will be able to just feel and resonate with those shifts.
And we've been doing these timeline jumps in the past, and then we heard from Zazar through this channeled by Marilyn Gewake. I'd never know how to say her last name, but about these 2 aspects of Prageet, who are like higher incarnations of his. But actually in cause, in 2023, in Kos, Greece, which is like an island in Greece that's right next to Turkey, we came together with 1,000 people, and Alcazar was so clear that we needed 1,000 people in person. We had another 2,000 online, to do something that was important at that time. And it was the day before that event started that this conflict in Israel broke out on October, I think it was the 7th or the 8th, 2023. So this feels significant because literally from the coastline of Kos, you can look out and see the region of Turkey that we are going to be in now, 2 years later. So we are here to make another impact on the trajectory of where we're going as civilization here.
Mm. Very
So, Asil, thank you so much for sharing about Turkey. And your parents are actually Turkish, correct?
They are. So I'm taking you all to the country of my ancestry. Even though I was born and raised in Austria, it is like deeply, within my genes. And there is something that activates within me as well when I go back there, right? And you have to imagine, like, the cradle of civilization was so close by, and a lot of the world religion moved through Turkey into Europe, right? Some of the earliest Christian churches and Christian settlements were there, right? Some of the earliest synagogues are also in Turkey, and it's really fascinating. It was, the center of the Byzantine Empire, the center of the Greek Empire, and the center of the Ottoman Empire, right? Three empires coincided in one city in Istanbul in that case. It's a big deal. And I think, just thinking about that, there is power there. And power can be utilized for many things. How we go about utilizing the power that's available to us, how we go about utilizing the grid that's there, that remains up to us, right? And we are there to utilize the power for the evolution of consciousness, for the healing, for the alignment of everyone that is joining, and for all of humanity and the earth itself. So it's a big deal.
Yay.
Beautiful. So we're inviting, if you feel the call, please come and join us in person. Because by doing so, as Asil said, you're contributing to our ability to create this super massive energy field that can have this impact. There's nothing like being there in person. We'll also be opening up the live stream, so if you can't travel, you can still be a part of this. But if you're feeling the draw, make the leap. We'll share all of the details a little bit later. But I really want to send a strong invitation because it's just so amazing what we can create together. And as Asil said, the three of us could get together and and
All day long.
and play with these energies all day long. And the needle is going to go like this. But when we come together in person,
That's when we speak about real timeline shifts, on a
exactly.
societal level. And I think that is what we need now more than ever.
Yeah.
So Accelerated Ascension is about your journey as individuals, and it's also about humanity's journey as a society.
Yeah, there's a lot of research. I mean, I'm sure most people are familiar with it, that say when a group of people get together, their energetic is amplified thousandfold. It really is extremely powerful. And that's why we're inviting people, come be with us. Let's make it happen together. So, moving on.
As we mentioned at the beginning, we're actually setting the field right now. We're starting to build toward that potential right now. And so we're going to hear from the guides, and then we're going to move straight into an energetic transmission. So we invite you all, again, just to feel the energy shifting, just as the hundreds and hundreds of people start to tune in.
Beloved ones, we greet thee. 'Tis Alcazar. And as we talk, we invite you to simply relax. For that which we are sharing is beyond just the words that you are hearing. There is an energetic that accompanies the world. Subtle energies can come to you right now, simply by relaxing, closing the eyes, and just feeling what we are saying to you. Feeling what we are bringing to you. A gentle energetic of relaxation and support. We have guided these processes for many, many years. Coming together with Asil creates a beautiful wave that is of higher amplitude, stronger energy, if you wish. An energetic which can subtly vibrate you into a whole new state of being. Understand this well. When these three get together, amplified by the Stargate, a field is created that uplifts you, and that is very tangible. You feel it. But not only the upliftment happens, you are starting to actually integrate those higher vibrations into your own field. When you do that, when you allow that, for it is not really a doing, it is just an allowing. When you allow those higher frequencies to start to integrate into your own physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies, old lower frequencies that you have been carrying can drop away. Old limiting beliefs can be dissolved by these higher frequencies. And so often the limiting beliefs that you hold have created difficulties in your life, physical, bodily, evidence of limitations, that which you call illness or dis-ease. When you dissolve or let go of those limiting beliefs, your whole structure realigns towards the more perfect blueprint, your own individual human blueprint. So simply by being in these fields that we create together, for this field is amplified by each individual who brings their presence there. And each individual who are there are assisting in the radiation of these energetic fields into the morphic field of humanity. So you are uplifting the frequencies of humanity as you come together in this beautiful, loving, energetic of change. And yes, we expect a beautiful timeline shift to occur in these days together.
And so, beloved ones, we invite you to feel already the field that is connecting you to these ancient power places. For your region of Turkey, as you have heard, contains multitudes of influences, but we wish to focus the lens on the Essenes, who came to this region as a safe haven from the Roman Empire. We wish to focus the lens on Rumi, who also came to this region as a safe haven from the Mongol Empire, who was invading his home of Persia, of Iran. We wish to focus the lens of Noah, whose ark landed on the Mount Ararat, a sacred site that is paired, according to Cryon, with the power site, the power place of Mount Shasta in California. And so this is the first time that the Stargate work will be shared in these ancient energetic influences, in these energy fields that still resonate in the land. But the particular region of Turkey is significant, for it is near the coastline. As we have said, it is very, very close to the energies that were broadcast with 1,000 Stargaters in person in Kos, the island of Greece, in 2023, as Julieanne calls it, cause and effect. For we came together at that time for something very significant, and we say this very clearly now. You too, all of you who feel to contribute your energies to this process, you are coming together for something very significant. You've heard about the neighboring regions. You know of the tensions that are building. And as this one Asil has said, the area of Turkey is a bit of a neutral zone. It is a safe haven even today. And so we invite you to feel what we are creating, for we will be drawing on the power that is there. We will be drawing even on the ancient power that was implanted in those lands and the neighboring regions. For these areas were also a safe haven after the fall of the great civilizations of the past. And so, beloved ones, come and join us, whether it is in person or through the ethers in your own home. Be with us, for these experiences will be vast and unique.
Greetings. We are Elohim. In the times that you have been challenged as an individual soul going through many lifetimes, you have recognized the importance of consistent healing, realization, and evolution, which has led you to this very moment in this lifetime, which has led you to this very moment of this transmission. The very moment of the community, the individuals and souls around you. And it is not by sheer coincidence, it is by design that you have arrived in this very moment. Therefore, watch with curiosity how you have constructed and designed this moment for yourself. How you have arrived in this very moment to serve yourself and those around you, to serve humanity, to serve this earth. In a great evolutionary process, in a great evolutionary time, the ascension process of humanity, the ascension process of you. And in this very experience of the ascension process, individuals that awaken, that choose, individuals that have lived and served in many different iterations of life, for the evolution of consciousness, come together again to serve again. And it is truly a great service. It is the greatest service that one can provide. The service of the evolution of its own collective consciousness, perceiving humanity more than individuals separated by the illusion of identity, truly receiving the truth of oneness in moments like these. You are therefore represented as individuals merely by illusion, truly a collective of consciousness, living, breathing, and experiencing together. While the beauty of your individual experiences contribute to your soul's evolution, the collective consciousness evolves through all of you, through all of the experiences you have, through all the challenges that you have gone through all the challenges that humanity has experienced. Therefore, in this time of critical evolutionary processes, purging of the old ways, purging of the traumas of the past, a clearing of one's individual, collective, and the consciousness of the energetic fields of this earth are necessary. Yet how you perceive, how you receive and participate in this purge remains up to you. In powerfully generated fields of coming together as communities, supported by divine forces, you can transform. Humanity can transform. Gently, gracefully, and in accelerated ways. It is not necessary to suffer, even if one purges, even if one transforms, even if one realizes and learns. Learning and evolution can be a simple and easy process. Let us guide you through a simplified process of consciousness expansion in this very moment. Drop into the seat of the present. Drop into the seat of your heart. Drop into the seat of your mind. Drop into the seat of this body. Allow yourself to rest in the arms and the energetic field of this earth. She holds you and she will continue to hold you until the very completion of this human experience. Trust her. Lean on her. Be held, be supported. Feel the energetic exchange that moves through you. And in this grounding, clearing, purifying energy, surrender the mind. A state of identity dissolves. A state of expansion emerges. Once perceived individually, now perceived as one. As the frequency aligns and synchronizes between all of you in this energetic field, you recognize the deep intrinsic connection you all have. The capacity, the capability, and the love that moves through you as a collective, as a community, as individuals in service to themselves and to humanity and this earth itself. And service can be effortless. Service can be pure and easy. Service can be as easy as dissolving into the moment and experiencing oneness. Service can be as easy as being seen and seeing. A natural sense of knowing emerges. A natural sense of trust emerges. A trust in life, a trust in existence, knowing that all that exists conspires to support you, conspires to love you. And rest in that trust and knowing for a moment.
And so, beloved ones, allow us to move even deeper, staying present, staying in this higher consciousness, this still point. We invite you now to close the eyes if you have not done so. And we will move into the Stargate energy fields. And so whenever we work with the Stargate, we always first connect to the energies of the earth, the energies of Gaia. And so we invite each one of you now just to ask inside for the energies of the earth to come up into your body, into your energy field.
Allowing the connection that you have already made become stronger within you. allowing the earth to hold you, ground you, love you.
And now asking inside for an etheric stargate, the consciousness that the sacred geometry of the stargate holds, to come and form around you. And so just the asking, we are calling for an etheric stargate to form around each and every one of us, visualizing, sensing as your etheric stargate etherically materializes around you. And you can simply visualize a pyramid and you are seated or laying down. And now asking inside for the activation of all the stargates around the world, hundreds upon hundreds of physical and thousands of etheric stargates. And so we are calling for the activation of the Stargate grid.
And as you ask, your individual stargate starts to gently vibrate, sending you a very soft, gentle, energetic, and relaxing into it. And now we are going to vibrate the whole of the Stargate grid, all the Stargates. Nothing for you to do, just relax and receive. And so we are vibrating your etheric Stargate faster and faster. And as we do so, we move up through the dimensional ranges, the frequencies of these higher dimensions. And already we are vibrating your etheric Stargate at the frequency ranges of the fifth dimension and continuing to vibrate faster. And so we are now moving into the ranges of the sixth dimension and continuing to accelerate and merging now into the seventh dimensional energetics, where we always pause for a few moments.
And we invite you to ask for a strong seventh dimensional energy field.
We call for a strong seventh dimensional energy field in your etheric Stargate and the Stargates all around this beautiful earth. And as you ask, just notice that the Stargate is beginning to radiate energies to you. Nothing to do, just relaxing into them. And these gentle energetics vibrate your energy field. But as most of you know, they also vibrate you on a cellular level, all the way down to your very DNA. And, beloved ones, these energies actually vibrate your higher dimensional DNA, the non-physical DNA. And as this non-physical DNA is gently vibrated, you start to reawaken the gifts, the skills and abilities that this awakened DNA can bring to you.
And so we continue to vibrate all the stargates faster still. And so as we do this, the frequency raises through your eighth dimensional frequency bands and continuing to accelerate.
Through the ninth dimensional energetics now, moving up gently but rapidly, merging into the 10th dimensional energetics, continuing vibrating faster into the 11th, and finally merging through into the frequency ranges of the 12th dimension. And we hold the stargates vibrating at this frequency.
So we ask each one of you here in the 12th dimension to ask inside for a strong 12th dimensional energy field to form around you.
And so we are calling for a strong 12th dimensional energy field in all the stargates. And again, your stargate will be radiating this higher frequency now, this 12th dimensional energetic. And as you relax into it, slowly, slowly, your own energy, your vibration starts to harmonize with those frequencies around you. And you start to vibrate at this 12th dimensional level. And as that happens, you become more sensitive to the benevolent beings, the guides who are available to assist in humanity's awakening. And so we will introduce you to some of these guides. Most of you know these experiences. And so really bring your intention, your loving energy when we ask for the guides to join us. And let us start by inviting those from the angelic realm who oversee the Stargate and Asil's work. So each one of us asking inside now for the presence of the Elohim angels.
So we call for the presence of the Elohim Council of Angels.
And feel, here they come, just feeling the energy as they come simply because you have asked. Feel it. You can invite them to come closer. Come closer. Just feeling their loving presence being with you.
And there is one within the angelic realm known as a Metatron who has a particular interest in human consciousness and the evolution that is happening here on your planet Earth. And so we ask you just to invite the presence of the Archangel Metatron.
So we're calling for Metatron again from your heart, and feel, for already his energy is coming into this global meditation, feeling his presence and his support. Very good. Very good. And a beautiful divine feminine energy, one who is associated, as you have already heard, with this location in Turkey. She is the one whom we call the Blessed Mother, Mary or Maria, the mother of Yeshua, Jesus. And so each one of us asking now for the presence of the Blessed Mother.
And so we are calling for the presence of the Blessed Mother.
And feel, here she comes. Mary, Maria, coming gently into this global meditation, getting stronger. Invite her to come closer to you. You can ask her to embrace you with her presence if you wish. Divine motherly energy, divine feminine energy. And after a moment, she merges with those who have come before, creating an even stronger field of oneness around you.
And another divine feminine presence from the Essene community wishing to join you. She is Mary Magdalene, the beloved of Yeshua. And so we ask each one of you to invite her presence.
We call for the presence of Mary Magdalene. And as you ask, feel, feeling the energy again gently shifting around you as Mary Magdalene brings her energy to you. Very good. Very good.
And Anna, the grandmother of Jesus, also wishing to bring her energy. And so asking inside, we are calling for the presence of Anna.
And feel yet another gentle feminine energy coming into the meditation, gently supporting us. Yes, yes. For she too has walked the lands of Turkey. She too can bring a very significant energetic to this beautiful preparation for what will be occurring in a few of your months in Turkey. Feel the energetic that is building with you and around you. And let us also call into this meditation Saint Germain. For as many of you know, he is very connected with the power place of Mount Shasta, which is tied energetically to Mount Ararat in eastern Turkey. And so each one of us now asking inside for the presence and support of this beautiful Master, Saint Germain.
So we call for the presence of Saint Germain and again feel the shift in the energy around you as Saint Germain brings his presence into this space.
Very good. The field of oneness around you is growing stronger and stronger as these beautiful ones hold us in their presence.
And the one known as Rumi, also associated with your Turkey, is wishing to bring his energy into this space. And so just asking inside, we are calling for the presence of the ecstatic poet, the Sufi, Rumi.
And feel Rumi bringing his energy into this meditation. Feel.
And he is inviting all of us to call forth the ecstatics who he whirled with, the whirling dervishes, the Sufis, the mystics of his time. So just asking inside, we call for the presence of the community of Rumi and feel. Here they come. The dervishes and the Sufis, the mystics of Islam, of his time. Feel this.
Very good. And beloveds, the star families who have gathered in spacecraft around this beautiful earth from so many different places, who are available to assist in many ways in the awakening of society with beautiful technology and the awakening of individuals with spiritual technology and information and energetic support to allow an understanding as you awaken, to allow this gentle opening of your consciousness to happen with ease and grace. And so we invite, as we all often do, the Pleiadians. So asking each one of you to ask inside for the presence of the Pleiadian.
We call for the presence of the Pleiadian star family.
And feel as they come into this global meditation in their light bodies, the Pleiadians come closer. Come closer. joining the masters and the angels.
And the beings from Sirius, A and B, wishing to join her now. And so just asking inside, we are calling for the presence of the Syrians.
And again, just feeling as the Syrians bring their unique energetics into this global meditation, joining those who have come before, creating a stronger, broader energetic field of oneness. And one last star family, an ancient one. And so we invite you to invite the presence
Of the Lyrans,
of the
asking
Lyran,
inside, we call for the presence
of the Lyran.
and feel. Here
Here
they
they
come.
come. The Lyrans, bringing their presence, their loving energy into this meditation. And so, beloved ones, you are being held in oneness. You are being held in higher frequencies of enlightenment, as you would call it here. This is a slow, gentle taste, setting the field for what is about to occur in your turkey. Feel this energy within you. This meditation is simply a small taste. Can you imagine being in this field which will be growing daily? Can you imagine being in this field for 4 days with hundreds of others and thousands who are joining us from around the world on the live stream? Can you visualize that? Can you feel the power of what you are all about to create together? We can already feel that which is being created. You are doing well.
Allow yourself to surrender to the possibility of great change. Transformation has been made available to you for a reason, because you are ready, and so is humanity. Yet it is for you to take that action, to take that step, to receive, to be present, and to allow yourself to transform in service to your life, to your soul, to the loved ones around you, to the collective of human consciousness, and to the earth itself. Thank you for listening to our words and receiving this transmission.
And so just being totally aware of your own vibration, feeling yourself present in the body. And when you're ready, allowing the eyes to come open and to come fully back into the now. Mm.
So feel the presence and the space that you're in now.
I was touched by the power when we invited the Elohim, the, the rush of energy that came in.
Yeah.
It's very strong.
Mm.
I was about to say the Elohim placed us in a state of like higher consciousness, that consciousness experience that was so exquisite. And I felt them holding open that space throughout the entire meditation. It's really interesting. So, as always, we would love to hear your comments in the chat. What did you experience? I'm talking to you at home. Hello.
We're seeing lots of hearts coming up in the chat.
Yeah. Deborah is saying it was amazing. I feel a great connection with Asil. His words touch my heart. Carol, aw, saying such a deep meditative state. Gianni, very moved and feeling blessed.
Louder.
Saint Germain was incredible.
Mm.
Ima saying beautiful energies coming into Turkey and the surrounding countries. It's going to be amazing. Obrigada from Brazil. Rosemary saying, I always feel myself wanting sleep. Rosemary, you're being drawn into a state of consciousness that the mind can only relate to as sleep. But Alcazar actually says you're falling into higher consciousness, not falling asleep.
Mm.
Maggie saying, high frequency energy. My body is still vibrating.
Wow. I mean, if this is a teaser for what is coming, it's just gonna be phenomenal. And I think, sometimes because we are in front of the camera and we seem to have it all together and to seem to know where it's going. But honestly, like when we go to these events, especially like of this magnitude, like Accelerated Ascension, we have no idea what's going to come. It's going to be so much bigger than we can even imagine, right? Because we look back at our past experiences and we can kind of extrapolate, oh, it's going to be like that. But really, we don't know. I think it's going to be massive.
Yeah. I truly feel that as well, Asil. It's a bit like when we're preparing for these events, we're building this rocket ship and like walking with our space helmets, but we don't actually know where we're going yet. Like the energy lifts off and like it takes us on this journey. And that's the beauty is that as channels, we're also holding space for the unknown to flow into the space and take all of us like all together into these new spaces.
So we're running a little bit out of time. I think, do you want to talk a little bit about the hotel and the actual registration process? Because we'd love to have as many people, as many of you as possible in Turkey. And for those that can't make it to Turkey for whatever reason, there's also going to be an online version of this experience.
Yes, absolutely. I have to read one chat comment first because it's so sweet.
Yeah.
So someone is saying, I had my IVF treatment during the last Accelerated Ascension, and the baby boy will be born in the next 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
She says, I
Wow.
went so deep into the meditation. There was so much light rushing through my body, and the baby started to kick wildly.
Yay.
An Accelerated Ascension baby.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I wonder what name she's going to give it.
Yeah, let us know if you know the name
Yeah.
already.
Okay, so the
So
hotel.
I will share our registration page so we can walk through all of the details. And if anyone sees the name in the chat, you can pop it. So we have Accelerated Ascension 4, October 2025 in Turkey. And there's going to be one more free pre-event to continue building the field in August. So if you're not signed up for that yet, hop over to stargate.live/AA4 and you can put your name to get a reminder when we're going to go live for that. The dates are the 21st to the 24th of October. And we're just going to scroll through and show you guys this beautiful registration page that our team has put together. And we're coming to the place where we can show you the hotel. So this is where we're going. And you can see it's beautiful. It's right on the coastline. And it's going to have space for everyone to come and stay and create a microcosm of community.
The joys of being together for a few days with people from all around the world, recognizing that we're all the same. We all desire similar things. We all want to live in joy and abundance and friendship and peace. And gathering in a community like this, hundreds of people in the same room, connecting with people, it's such a delight. And this hotel is a really wonderful venue for doing that. It's all inclusive, so the food is included. We're going to have tea and coffee breaks during the workshop itself.
Yeah, beautiful. So we want to dive a little bit into the details of the place. So there's 2 steps to register. The first is you can make the workshop payment, and we are keeping the early bird open. So it's 4:44 until the end of July. So mark that anytime in July you can sign up and still get this early bird price. And then the second step is to book your room and your travel, which are not included in the workshop fee. And so the room, it's really important to book through our link here so that you can be included as a participant of the event. So the way that it works in Turkey with these large gatherings is that the hotel is putting together really beautiful snacks, tea and coffee for us each day, which is included in the room fee when you book through us. But if you book outside, it's not included. So if you book outside of our link, there's an extra 120 euro fee that you'll pay. That's essentially for all 4 days. So it's just 120 euros total. So we recommend just booking through our link to make it simple. Anything else to add there?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I think one thing we could mention is that if people sign up now, you'll also get a channeling that I delivered in 2019 at the Church of Virgin Mary in Ephesus. So that'll come in your registration confirmation. And I think it's a good one to have.
Yeah, I'm really curious what the Elohim have said about those sacred sites in Turkey.
And it's on the beach.
And it's on
And it's on the beach. Yeah.
Yes, it is. And the sunsets are going to be incredible.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ah,
So we have an update. The name of the baby is going to be Ori, O-R-I, which is Hebrew for my light. And 2 weeks ago, lightning struck the mama's house.
wow.
Wow. She says we're prepared for the Accelerated Ascension baby. So beautiful.
Wow, that is amazing.
I can totally feel this like exquisite presence
This
right
kid
now.
is going to be quite something. Wow. Yeah, please send us a photo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's bring this to a close.
So yeah, we'll bring today's live stream to a close. As we said, we're going to be coming back together in August to do another blast off. We are opening up the live stream registration very soon. So if you can't be there in person, you can join us online. And as Asil said, you'll get this gift of the channelings that he did on site at various sacred sites in Turkey in 2019.
Okay. Thank you, Asil. Thank you, your team and our team. And thank you to all the translators I can see along the top of my screen who are sharing this with 5 or 6 different languages. Very much appreciated.
Yeah, we love you. We appreciate you.
And we'll see you again in August and hopefully in Turkey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
This practice gives you like a really strong foundation because the foundation comes from within. So lots of practices tell you to do this or do that, but with this type of work, it gives you your own power and your own sense of knowing. And I think that's super important, like your own sense of knowing, your own foundation. And it's, I think discernment, power, and inner foundation is what this work really gives, at least for me.
I'm able to stay more centered for more of the time, I guess, Asil would call it, in more alignment. So I don't reach those states of stress that I used to feel. So that to me is a really key point, is just sort of living a life of less anxiety, which is a good thing, because the flip side of coming here is universe starts showing up to meet the new version of who you are, or who I am. And so it prepares you for that. It gives you, I guess, the tools to navigate life from a more kind of compassionate, centered, grounded perspective, so that I can meet the challenges that arise in a more healthy and wholesome way.
It's a combination of being treating yourself on a short or holiday. It's being with soul family. It's with good vibrations. Lots of energies. Spirit guides constantly working and keeping your energy field really glowing and radiant. And that's going to you feel that, and that's going to make you feel amazing along all these people all together, and the energy in the room, it's just a combination all together that says to me, this is it, this is it. And that was a great realization for me this morning, actually.
The key moment for me is I realized there are different new pathways within myself that before this I couldn't access to it. This was, for me, is huge. It's big, what I'm feeling inside of me. There's more inner peace. In a way, this experience for me was nothing short of life-changing. And I'm grateful for all the new pathways that I'm going to explore.
I would definitely recommend to anybody who is thinking about having a retreat like this or experience to come, because the states you reach here and the frequencies you reach are profound, and I just know for sure that when I come home, I can access those states again, and I already feel it has changed me, and I'm so sure it's gonna change me on a daily level.